Looking for the ultimate adrenaline rush? Bring your friends and drive a tank with our 4-star general package, including 2 passengers. Start with a safety and history briefing, then roll out in a massive 5-ton military truck to the battlefield. Then climb into the 432 armored personnel carrier hatches, closed as you drive by periscope across our course. Finish strong at our indoor range, firing a Sten M4 in a 1919 belt-fed machine gun. DriveAtank.com. Book today.
With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 350-plus undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Join me, John Randall, at the North American Banking Company Minnesota Golf Show, February 13th through the 15th at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Test your skills in the long putt contest for a shot at a $100,000 prize package. Plus, try the latest gear from top manufacturers and get free lessons from local PGA pros. Don't miss it.
Tickets on sale now at mngolfshow.com. Save $3 with advanced purchase. Each ticket includes 14 free greens fee passes valued at $500. Learn more at mngolfshow.com.
Rock.
This is the Weekly Scramble, a place where we chat about life over a cold one or 2. It's time to belly up to the pod with Mike Fratelloni and your host, Chris Reavers.
That's right. It's time for the Weekly Scramble podcast. My name is Chris Reavers. With me, as always, his name is Mike Fratelloni. Hello, Michael.
How you doing, Reavers?
I've been better, but we're still going to be here and still provide a high-quality entertainment program like we do every week.
The highest
quality program. And everyone's all, up in arms because Vice President J.D. Vance had the audacity to come to town to try to see, get a status report on the efforts being made by ICE and the enforcement of illegals being here.
Is he going to roll with some officers?
That I don't know.
I wonder. That would be kind of neat.
Can I tell you something very quick before I get into what I wanted to get into? So, hold on one second. I promise I'm not sick. I'm just battling.
You are 100% going to get me sick.
Think so?
Well, maybe.
Anyway, so yesterday I had to make not one,
not two,
but 3 different trips between Jordan and Minneapolis yesterday.
Are you kidding me?
No, it was. I got some stuff going on.
Okay, you okay? That seems like a lot, though.
So it's funny because I mentioned this about a week or so ago to you that when I drive my Traverse and I have my Top Gun Maverick aviator sunglasses on, people think I'm a cop.
I like that.
I'm not joking. They do. In fact, my sons and I, we joke about it. Like, Dad, that guy slowed down in front of you. He thinks you're a cop. Mm-hmm. I'm not joking.
Sure.
Yesterday, I've made this public, so I'll address it here. My youngest son has been battling some health-related issues. Thank you to everybody that's reached out. That's just, you have no idea how much that's meant to me. He's good. He's a rock star, and everything's great. So I left here, went back to Jordan to pick up my oldest boy from basketball practice so that we could come back to Children's to go see his little brother, lift up his spirits a little bit, and of course he was still under drugs and basically a zombie in his hospital bed.
So you were crying, just staring at him, probably. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was funny because I told William, I said, dude, everyone that sees me is gonna, because the main reason I wanted is I can take the carpool lane. That's why I went and got you.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, go twice as fast.
So I said, hey, just people. He goes, Dad, why is everybody slowing down in front of you? And I said, well, it's the same thing. He goes, oh, they think you're ICE. And I said, oh, my God, I didn't even think of that.
You do have kind of an ICE look about you.
Think so?
You're tall. You're white. You kind of have this supremacist feel about you.
Should I start pulling that? No, I'm definitely not.
What you need to start doing is wearing a mask in your car, like one of those,
and just kind of giving people the stare,
and you point to your eyes like with your fingers, and then point to them. You think you have it bad with your car, Reavers?
Yeah.
I have a military Humvee. You know what I haven't been allowed to drive for a couple of weeks now?
Yeah.
You don't want to go rolling through town in a for fun for you Humvee.
Okay. Fun plan for us this weekend.
We are not doing that.
No. You just give me the keys.
Yeah, I just let you go driving through. Yeah, I don't, it is funny because I did say to one of my daughters, I'm like, that's a truck I probably won't be able to drive around very often lately. Coming up.
Yeah.
I don't think I think that one screams kind of ICE military type of deal.
Well, I've rode dirty in that thing.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't
awesome.
it?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
awesome.
And little kids wave to you. I get more looks in that car than any car I've ever owned in my entire life. I don't think this would be the kind of looks I'd want to get in the next handful of weeks driving through Minneapolis.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a statistic that I wanted to bring up with you and to the listener, and I find it not quite astounding, but I find it almost laughable at the current state of affairs, especially as it relates to the current state of affairs here in the great state of Minnesota and in the Twin Cities. Michael, I give you this. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
You know who Tom Homan is, right?
I do.
Tom Homan is the chief of, what would we call him? The chief of
Homeland Security. Director of Homeland Security.
Well, isn't that Noam's job?
Yeah, director of, I'll look for it.
Okay. So he has been employed by Donald Trump, but he was also employed by former President Barack Obama.
Mm-hmm.
Michael, in 2012, Tom Homan and Barack Obama deported 409,000 people.
What? Say that again.
409,000 people were deported in the year of 2012 under the direction of former President Barack Obama.
Sure.
In 2025, President Trump and Tom Homan deported 290,000 people. Barack Obama's ICE chief, Tom Homan, received an award for those 920,000 removals. That's right. He received the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
From Barack Obama.
In 2012.
He put it around Tom Homan's neck.
And now he's being called a Nazi. He's being called Hitler. He's being called all sorts of bad names. And it shows you one thing about how the American public can so easily be manipulated.
Mm-hmm. He was former acting ICE director is what they have his. Then
under the Obama administration.
No, and now it's the Executive Associate Director of Enforcement and Removal. He's got kind of a weird title. So yeah, it is strange when you listen to quotes from Barack Obama. Do you have any quotes from Barack Obama?
I do, Michael, and this is why it infuriates me so much, because it's hard to not be able to see all of the different semantics revolved around a topic. Like, I totally get it. We're all busy. We got things going on. We've got kids to take care of. We've got a job to worry about. So there's many, many things that can get lost in the shuffle. And I will say that's the very reason why we are in this mess, especially in this state, because not enough people are paying attention to all the particulars with a given subject. And that's why the one-party rule in this state has easily been able to get away with what they've been able to get away with over the number of years. I'd like to play you this from our president, Michael. Our president had some thoughts on immigration.
Can't wait to hear these from our president.
There is bipartisan hope of getting it done. This year, the Senate passed an immigration reform bill by a wide bipartisan majority, and it addresses the key issues that need to be addressed. It would strengthen our borders. It would level the playing field by holding employers accountable if they knowingly hire undocumented workers. It would modernize our legal immigration system so that we eliminate the backlog of family visas and make it easier to attract highly skilled entrepreneurs from beyond our borders. It would make sure that everybody plays by the same rules by providing a pathway to earned citizenship for those who are living in the shadows.
So let me ask you this, Reverse. Did Barack Obama become a liberal after that? Or did the Liberal Party, was it conservative and now has gone very far to the left?
I can tell you what happened. And I think it started under the Obama administration, where he was inaugurated in 2000. Well, he was elected in 2008, but took office in 2009, and then Trump took office in 2016. During that time, things were pretty good. Hey, the
race relations plummeted.
Well, right. That's, I guess, my point, where it started to really teeter off the rails. And then the alignment with the democratic socialist movement in this country is what really, really caused that party to plummet.
I mean, did the Overton window shift so far that you and I are using quotes from Barack Obama and saying, yeah, we agree with those. We agree with that, President Obama. We need secure borders. We need a pathway to citizenship for people that are here or want to come here, right? A legal pathway to citizenship. That seems awfully common sense. Back then in 2009, when I was saying, that seems super aggressive. Why is he talking about this? I can't imagine I'd have that much of a different view than what Barack Obama had in 2011 or whatever it was, 2009.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I mean, it just seems so weird. Now, why did he shift? Okay, let me ask you this. You love the Minnesota Vikings.
Sure.
You've loved them for 20 years.
Oh, God, no, more than that.
More than that. Has your mind completely shift on the love of the Minnesota Vikings?
Sometimes.
Okay. My point is how did Barack Obama go from, I don't believe in gay marriage, I don't believe in illegal immigration, and just completely shift?
Everybody that's been a long tenured member of any elected position, whether you talk about Chuck Schumer, whether you talk about Nancy Pelosi, whether you anybody on the right? Mm-hmm. The only thing that they have in mind is, what am I possibly going to do to remain elected and remain in office? And there's also clips of Schumer saying the exact same thing.
Literally the exact same thing.
About immigration and how we really need to get a handle on this. The entire Clinton campaign had that exact same rhetoric back in 1992 or whatever.
Bill Clinton was a far-right conservative in comparison. It's weird how far-right he was.
Yeah, and I think, so to answer your question, I will say this. Many people have issues with Donald Trump, even people that voted for him. I happen to be one of them.
Yeah.
I'll say it publicly. I don't care. So I'm just going to speak for me. That, there's some things like, Don, we don't need to do that.
We don't need to
say that.
Send the military into Greenland.
We don't really need to put that on Truth Social. We don't really need to say that. Just let that sleeping dog lie.
Yeah.
Maybe
don't call the gal piggy.
And there's so many things that he's done that I 125,000% agree with. Mm-hmm. But I think the reason why we have the quote on GL, that's why Trump got elected. Mm-hmm. I think so many people, and I'm 100% including myself in this, we got so freaking tired and exhausted of the woke nonsense that I said, I don't care who it is. I can't cast a vote for that.
Has the conservative side shifted that far?
A little bit. Trump's had a little bit to do with that.
Okay, well, help me understand this. What did we believe in 20 years ago that we diametrically oppose today? And when I say we, I mean the Conservative Party, not necessarily Mike Fratelloni. What did the Conservative Party believe in wholeheartedly in 2011 and now believes completely different? Because Barack Obama in 2011 said he wanted closed borders, he wanted to stop illegal immigration. Yeah. Now he doesn't want that. Why?
But when that shift started to happen, and it's absolutely crystal clear why the open border policy began. Let's not kid ourselves. Mm-hmm. The Democratic Party said, "Oh my God, we're going to get our asses kicked by Trump," and the ramifications of, again, so many people saying, I don't want the woke nonsense overtaking my country. They realized, meaning the Biden administration realized, if we don't do something about this, we're not only going to lose to Trump in the presidential election, we're going to lose congressional seats.
Sure.
We're going to lose a lot.
Population.
Here. So that's why they flooded this country with people here illegally and have done everything possible to try to get them to vote. Look what's happened in our state alone. Yeah. When Walz and those buffoons in state government said, you know what, everyone has the right to a driver's license. We're not morons. We know exactly why you did that, you idiot. It's not because, everyone should be behind the wheel, which, by the way, this time of the year, no, everyone should not be behind the wheel because no one knows how to drive in the snow anymore. That's beside the point. My point is, we know exactly why you did that, you buffoon. You're not one Minnesota. This whole notion of one Minnesota, Walls isn't from here. Flanagan's not from here. None of these people are from here.
Mayor Fry's not from here.
Mayor Fry's not from here. Keith Ellison's not from here. Quit with your one Minnesota bullshit.
Was Herb born in Minnesota? No. No, she wasn't. She's an immigrant.
Her family did it the right way.
Yeah, they came here legally.
They immigrated to this country legally.
One thing, this is a little digression, but before you blow a gasket in your heart, I wanted to give you a little digression.
Thank you.
Have you heard corporate national media talk about Mayor Her?
No.
They believe that her is her pronouns, so they keep using her first name as her last name. And I really think that's quite adorable.
So they call her Miss Kaloe?
Kaloe, yep.
They're
saying
Klee.
They're saying Mayor Klee. It's like, because they think the her is her marking her pronouns. I'm like,
that's not helpful.
No, but I thought that was kind of clever when I was like, corporate media, that you don't know. And many people not understanding that it's Mayor Fry, not Frey.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of, I don't know. Reavers, I like to try to figure things out. I really do. Yeah. And I wish we could go back to Chuck Schumer, and I think we could go back to Barack Obama. I think we could have a conversation with Bill Clinton and say, Bill, what the hell happened? I probably would be a guy who would like Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Right? I like a good massage. I like private jets. Right? He, too, seemed to like those things. Right? He probably had a burger in his lifetime before he turned into some vegetarian. Right? But he was a middle of the roader. And now what he said sounds extreme right to people.
Yeah.
How the hell did that shift happen?
I don't know.
And so here's one thing that I'm going back on. I think today is the day where if we were going to have a Republican governor in this state, it's coming up to this election, right? We have a chance with so much going on in this town right now. But what's going to happen, I have this theory about Michelle Tafoya. She's going to take a big chunk of the Republican money, right? And she's going to do it. And then she's going to step up and she's going to open her mouth up about abortion. And then, boom, all that money, all that effort is just gone.
Well, and as Joe has stated, 100,000 times, if she gets an endorsement and accepts it and aligns herself with President Trump, unfortunately, she's got zero shot at winning in the state.
She can't say anything about Donald Trump.
Right.
She only has to say things about what's going on in the state. And if she opens her mouth up and says, we have to outlaw abortion in the state, I don't get it. You can't win with that.
If you say that.
Is it better to win and then decrease the amount of abortions that happen? Maybe don't outlaw them, but say, hey, let's set up the society so more people don't have to have abortions. Isn't that better?
And to play the two sides of this, Bill Clinton said this best. Abortions should be legal and rare.
Rare and safe, right?
Yeah.
And now that seems fairly conservative to me.
Right.
That seems like a winning conservative strategy, right? That seems like, I can live with that. Mike Fratelloni can live with that strategy, right? What's wrong?
I know.
What are we doing?
His name is Mike Fratelloni. My name is Chris Reavers. This is the Weekly Scramble podcast, and we will be right back.
Who doesn't love this time of year? Football playoffs are here, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Underdog is so easy, you just pick if your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, rushing yards, receptions, and more. If you get your picks right, you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. So many great players to choose from this time of season, but the way I look at it, I think Matthew Stafford to go higher on yards passing is always a good way for me to go, and Saquon Barkley's a nice pick to go higher on rushing yards. So what are you waiting for? Download the app today and use promo code GARAGE to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code GARAGE. Underdog. Make picks. Win money.
Must be 18 plus. 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska. 19 plus in Colorado for some games. 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms_DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Normally I end a segment with an ad, but let's start this segment with an ad from our friends at We Are Nuts and wearenutsmn.com. Check this out. You think I'm sharing this with anybody?
That's really good if you're watching. This is a
cashews.
jumbo can of How many ounces was that?
Let's look this up. I'm now at the age where I have to lift up my glasses.
I saw
to read
that. I
fine
think it's
print.
kind of funny.
400. It's 1 pound. It's absolute 1 pound jar.
Oh my God.
Of jumbo cashews,
Salted.
Oh my God, that's going to come in handy.
Someone
later
asked
today.
me, like, oh, I wonder if they make them unsalted. I'm like, they could. Why would anybody eat them?
Why would you take joy out of your life?
It's like the people that eat sunflower seeds with no salt on them. Oh, gross. You're weirdos.
It's just disgusting.
Yeah.
Anyway, the entire lineup can be found at wearenutsmn.com. Available right now at 700 different Quick Trip locations, Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores locations, Max Hardware, Lunds and Byerly's, Kowalski's Markets. Coburn's is also carrying
Cub.
We Are Nuts, Cub Foods. Boy, the list keeps going on and on. County Market. Am I forgetting anybody else?
You know, you're finding them all over the place right
You really
now.
are.
They've really had this incredible growth in the last 8 months or whatever. And good for them.
By the way, the big game is coming up. So stock up on snacks right now for the big game coming up.
You could get a super big bowl and pour them into the super big bowl for the big game.
Right. You really could.
Screw them. Have them come sue me after that.
No.
What, right?
You didn't use the words consecutively,
No,
so I don't
because
see what the
it's a
problem
super
is.
big bowl that I'm putting my We Are Nuts in.
The cashews, the maple bourbon toffee almonds, the cinnamon toffee peanuts. I'm going to fancy this one right now. The big jar of cherries, berries, nuts, and chocolate.
Good. Yeah, that one's really
I haven't
good.
had this one yet, so I'm excited about that as well.
But you might as well break it open because you know if you don't break it open, it's going to be gone. It's like it is weird that whenever someone brings something into the studio, it's just gone.
It
all
just
of a sudden.
disappears all of a
like who's
sudden.
stealing this stuff? What thieves are in radio?
He normally sits in that chair right there. His
over
name
there.
is Rookie. So anyway, We Are Nuts and wearenutsmn.com. Place your order. Let them know that you heard about them on the Garage Logic podcast and also here on the Weekly Scramble podcast. I was distracted because I was looking up a story we were talking about. Where did we go from here?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Did you see President Trump's video that he posted on social media today?
Which one?
Where the Democratic Party really wants to take us. They want one-party rule in this state.
Is this AI? It's an AI video?
No, because I think it was issued from his account.
Okay.
But anyway, I don't want to necessarily highlight that point, but some of the things he was pointing reference to made a ton of sense, right? Because it's been so clear where, hey, early voting starts today. I mean, I'm getting text almost every day about early voting starting already in January. I'm thinking, the election's in freaking November.
Yeah, how is early voting starting today? I don't get that.
No, it actually started, I think, on January 7th.
How? For what? For governor?
That's my point. When it's specific races, Mike, that's the problem that I have is when you try to manipulate
Political races, not races, ethnicity races.
What did I say?
Well, you said specific races, and I was like, well, let's say no. Political races.
Yes. That's exactly what I meant to say. So when you try to make something so convoluted and so difficult that wasn't broken to begin with, by the way, that's the problem that we're going to keep encouraging and keep taking place because nothing good is going to happen from this. And that's why so many people, myself included, don't trust the process. I don't anymore. And you think, okay, we've had food fraud. We've had Medicaid fraud. We've had daycare fraud. We have had whatever
any
fraud.
place where there's an NGO, any place where people are spending not their money, will have fraud. We've always had it, and hopefully
where does it all start at? It starts at the election ballot. So if you don't think that there's any type of election fraud going on, you're clearly not paying attention. Now, how extensive is it? I have no idea. But there's a reason we got to this place, got here in the first place because of how messed up this entire system is.
Okay, I can't find that early voting is open in Minnesota. I can't find that. Do you
Okay.
think you could be just getting
Maybe I'm getting spam
text messages?
Maybe I'm getting spam. Maybe that's the case. I don't know.
But maybe I'm wrong because it's going back to September 25th. I can't imagine early voting would be open because who could you possibly vote for?
Right.
Who would be on the ballot? I mean, there's 10 Republicans and 10 Democrats.
Now,
are there any Democrats that you've seen that are running for governor that you think would be worth looking at?
Off the top of my head, I guess I have not.
Okay.
I guess I have not. But
I just don't know, right?
one of the things that I did want to point out, though, in this sea of mess is, you remember our friends from the Quality Learning Center, right?
I did.
So they have, for those of you that don't know, the Quality Learning Center, which they meant to type Quality Learning Center, were the ones that were highlighted in the Nick Shirley video that basically exploded, went viral. Everyone saw it all across the world. And so the Quality Learning Center started their own Twitter account.
Oh, did they?
Oh, yes.
Oh, no. Someone started it.
Well, someone...
Just like I wanted to buy, because I went out to buy the URL because I wanted to own that URL so I could make shirts.
Yes.
Someone opened their own... by the way, Amy Klobuchar is running. She's we could do worse than Amy Klobuchar.
We could do
right?
worse, but she will still pursue and go after the same type of woke nonsense that the Walz administration.
Steve Simon, Secretary of State.
No, thank you.
One Keith Ellison. You'd love him.
No, thank you.
Let me go. Senate Majority Leader Aaron Murphy.
No.
Okay, that's who we had thus far, kind of the notable Democrats.
Oh, my God. Okay. Let's explore more fun things.
Some Twitter from the Quality Learning Center.
So the Quality Learning Center started a Twitter account, and of course, the first thing I did was had to follow the Quality Learning Center.
How many followers do they have?
About 20,000.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God! Why did we do that?
So they like to highlight. It's a parody account, obviously, but they like to highlight videos from the likes of Jacob Fry, and it's a good follow if you must.
Sure.
And I must.
Okay.
So Ilhan Omar, you're familiar with her?
Heard of her?
So Representative Ilhan Omar, when was this? This took place, I think it was either early this morning or late yesterday. She tweeted the following.
Okay.
Minnesota is getting hit with severely cold weather this week with a little snowflake emoji.
Oh, nice.
Find your closest warming center here. And she included the URL for the Hennepin, U.S. severe cold warming options. You know, because there are people out there.
People out on the street, they need to stay warm.
Going to need a warm place to stay.
Yep.
They're going to need just somewhere to maybe find a meal and what have you. The Quality Learning Center replied to that and said, if you get cold, you can come to our school. We have plenty of open space.
Oh, nice.
Meaning, we haven't had any kids here for years.
We haven't had kids here for a long time.
But them checks keep coming on in.
Oh, my gosh.
And so, and then they override, or what do you call it? They replied the entire thing and said, today in math class, kids, we're going to learn about ratios. Because Ilhan's tweet got about 220 likes, 442 comments, and then the reply got about 2,000 comments.
Wow.
And meaning people really liked the fact that
they were ripping on
that
Ilhan?
they were called out,
Wow.
or that she was called out by the Quality Learning Center. The Quality Learning Center.
It is of great importance that people stay warm and safe, right? People are going to be outside. It's going to be very, very cold.
Yep.
And is that the function of government to make sure people don't freeze to death? Maybe.
To a certain extent, I would think maybe probably, that's a public service.
I have a question for you.
Oh, boy.
This is another function of government question. This would be a great topic for Joseph Schrey.
All right.
Add a little, get one of those big voices that says, is this a function of government? I was listening to Minnesota Public Radio today. Listen to NPR kind of a lot, right? It's my go-to when I drive. And they were talking about shelter and people needing food assistance this time of year. And they said, we've also opened a pet food resource center. So if people were struggling because they weren't able to feed their pets, cats, dogs, and rodents. And I thought, wait, is that, and I'm not trying to be cold. I love dogs. I love cats. I love pets. Is it my job to pay for someone's gerbil food because they're struggling.
No, Mike, it's not. No, it's not.
A charity that people are passionate about could set up and
you
help.
want to contribute to that?
And you want to
God
contribute
bless
to it.
you.
God bless you. I believe in dogs shouldn't go. If I lost my job, God forbid, and my dog was starving to death, I wish there was a kind person there to help me with food for my dog. Right? I wish that. But is it the government's job to set up a dog center so people who are struggling economically can feed their dog, cat, and rodent? I thought, well, is that right? Are some of my taxes going to gerbil food for someone who has a gerbil terrarium in their house and they're struggling, and it's mandatory that I pay for their gerbil food? Ugh. And, I have compassion. If someone said, hey, my gerbil's starving to death, I would be compassionate and pay for it. I would, right? I'd help them figure it out. Or I'd say, let's get rid of your gerbil. Run free, gerbil, right? I'd figure out a way to do it, right? But why is that a function of government?
And that's the problem that I and so many others have, Mike, is it's almost as if, when you decide to either buy a home, whether you decide to buy a car, whether you decide to get an insurance plan, you have options. Okay, you have choices that you get to make based upon what you either can afford or want to spend, or a combination of the two. With this, we don't got to say.
Yeah,
we're supposed to trust those that have been elected to these positions to take care of that for us. Here's the problem. The problem is no one's being responsible with any of this,
or they want this massive abuse to happen because
they're probably on the take.
I can't get to the on the take thing. I know you are.
I was where you were maybe 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. And then I started to say, well, wait a minute. Then why would you keep? Here's the thing. There's no other explanation now, because everything's been exposed. And here's the thing.
But don't blame to malice what could be blamed on stupidity.
For sure. Right? But you can't be this stupid to not see what's really happening. And the only reason that one party is trying to protect those that are here illegally to remain here is for one reason only, to make sure that they can still vote come November.
Yeah, to keep that trough going, to keep that pile of more votes. I do see when a certain group of people steals money, right? Yep. Defrauds the state government and federal government, and then that money gets funneled back to a candidate in donations, right?
Which has happened often.
Which happens often, right? I don't necessarily know that the politician, I don't think Tim Walz is saying, hey, I need to get me some of that food fraud scandal money. I don't think that's happening. I think that would leave an incredibly clear paper trail.
I cannot wait for when the investigation into Ilhan Omar finally surfaces and we realize just how extensive this has become, when she went from a net worth of $50 when she took office to $30 million. And her husband's business, or her husband, her brother, her husband, her husband's business went from a value of about $50,000 to over $5 million. I mean, it's almost as if they're not even trying very hard to hide it anymore.
They're not
because
not
they're getting away with it,
and they don't need to not get away with it. You know what they have to say? Nothing. Doesn't matter. That's how it works.
Make sure you vote for.
Make sure you vote for me. That's what they need to do.
Where we see the same freaking B-roll that she said she's been running for the last 500 years.
Do you think Ilhan could run for governor?
Oh, don't.
I mean,
I'm already in a bad mood. Don't.
She's already a United States representative. She could run for governor. She could become a senator.
You know what? Here's what's going to happen. I know Amy filed her paperwork to run for governor today. If Omar Fateh decides to run for governor, God help us one and all.
Yeah,
he'll get the nomination.
You think so?
Well, he almost got the nomination, and we had an incumbent.
But from what I understand from the Somali streets, because I follow some Somalis on social media, he is in the wrong clan.
Oh.
And because his clan is not the majority clan, it's very hard for him to get massive votes. That's why Fry won, because Fry was accepted into, I'm going to say, the higher clan or the larger clan. He was given a designation in that clan, which is interesting, right? That's very interesting.
But honest to God, what's happened to us? This isn't this is not the Minnesota I grew up in.
Yeah, and you say that. I get it. I guess, and right? We're okay.
Is your life? Well, you're the wrong person to ask.
My life has been great. I can't bitch about anything. Here's what I'm going to say. Something. There's something called counterfactualization, right? And if you want to become insane, Reavers, keep counterfactualizing things. There is nothing you can do about the past. Nothing. It is gone. We are here today. We can pine for 1980. By the way, 1980 and between 1980 and 1989 were the best years. That was the pinnacle of America, period. We didn't need to make America great again. It already was, right? It's all been downhill slide since then. But you can't counterfactualize things. We can't change what's past. Today we were living in this world. This world has some corruption. We have ICE agents running rampant through town, right? Here's where we are today. How do we make today the best?
That's true.
I keep going back to Make America One Again, right? Yeah. That instead of Make America Great Again, let's make America One Again. Let's all be on the same side one more time. Let's do that in Minnesota. I think we can do it.
All right. That's a good note. That's a good note to end on. Thank you.
Okay,
Michael.
wait. I'm not ending on that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because I don't know if you knew this, but I had a little surgery, right? I had a clock installed in my brain, Reavers.
Oh, no.
Yeah. You know what's happening?
What?
Now I'm having second thoughts. Get it? Second thoughts.
Thank
Rivers,
you,
you are the best.
Please do us a favor, rate and review the show wherever you happen to be listening to the Weekly Scramble podcast. It helps others find the show. It helps us out as well, and we appreciate each and every single one of you. His name is Mike Fratelloni. My name is Chris Reavers. Thank you so very much for listening to the Weekly Scramble podcast. We'll talk to you again next time. Until then, cheers.